on.
Can you hear me now?
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalists of Southold, formerly the First Universalist Church of Southold. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, we welcome you. Today we are gathering on the traditional lands of the Ammonhansuk Nation. My name is Susan Johnson, and I am a member of the Board of Trustees. I am not a member of the Board of Trustees. I'm a member of the congregation and participate in many committees. We are glad to see you, whether you are visiting for the first time or coming often. If you are not on our mailing or email lists, please sign our guest book on the welcome desk as you enter from the parking lot. You will then receive the Free Spirit newsletter each month and hear about the upcoming events. Copies of the newsletter are on the action table to the left as you enter behind me. Please like us on our YouTube page as well as our Facebook page. We stream our services on YouTube, and you can find past services archived. The action table has other information that you may find interesting. Also for your use, masks and sanitizer are available. We offer many ways to serve this community, from providing hospitality, flowers, and ushering on Sunday mornings, to joining our social action and other commitments. I should have said committees. There are announcements on the back of our order of service. I will read a few of them to you. On October 14th, there will be a yoga meditation. On the 17th, a labyrinth walk, weather permitting. On the 19th, the Sunday service will be Line in the Sand by Reverend Valerie Friesman. October 27th, Rewild Long Island Northwark will have a presentation here. Fall Sustainable Care Tips at 6:30 p.m. And starting on Thursday, the 24th, we will be having a series of forums on climate change and how we can be involved in making the changes necessary and helping others to do so also. That will be for 6 weeks. The list will be coming out on the OOS. The first two in October are the 23rd and the 30th. So that's the same week as the rewilding. Sunday service, Lies, Lies, Lies by Reverend Valerie on the 26th. 26th also. North Fork Action Center at 4 p.m. Note that the day has changed. It's no longer on Friday. It is on Sunday, so that people who work can come. And the 29th is our board meeting. Are there any other announcements anybody would like to make? Yes, go ahead.
I don't know if it should be a joy or announcement, no, but for those of you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so I saw opening night, Friday night at NFCT, North Fork Community Theater's production of A Few Good Men, and our own Virginia Cava, who did the costumes for that. And I just wanted to say to you guys, it's really worth seeing. It was an incredible, one of the best shows I've seen. So, highly suggest congratulations to Virginia.
Now is a time in our service when we greet our neighbors. people, although this is not sponsored by our church, it is by the North Fork Environmental Council. It's the Repair Cafe, which is in Riverhead on the 25th, Jamesport on the 25th. It's a wonderful occasion to learn how to not throw so much stuff in the landfill. Now is the time in our service when we light our chalice. The reading is a special one for this service. Please read in unison.
We light this chalice for the earth in which we are all part. We pledge to care for what it needs and hold it in our heart.
Our opening words are by Denise Cawley. Love our earth. Take action to consume less, use less energy, respect water, and be cooperative, collaborative, and creative community. Like the moss and the mushrooms, our children's lives depend upon us. Let us worship. Our opening hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth. Please rise and sing as you are able.
For the splendor of
is the spirit of this congregation, and service is law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek, love, and to help one another. Now is the time in our service when we take up an offering for the work of this wonderful community. If you are new here, your presence here is gift enough. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I just would like to tell you the story of this piece Brahms wrote. And he was in trouble. Everybody needed money. You
Now is the time in our service when we drop stones, all joys and sorrows or concerns. Speak up.
I just want to drop a stone of gratitude and joy because 9 years ago I discovered Southold, and I was privileged enough to buy a house here, and so far it has been the answer to my emotional, creative, spiritual, and physical dreams. And to all of you, I want to thank you for being part of my spiritual community.
My concern is for the ferry today. I have a daughter who left at 8 o'clock and a daughter-in-law who's coming. She said 4 o'clock, but I think that's been canceled.
We all can express sorrow for the kind of storm that we now have because of climate change.
I want to express gratitude for the people who created this building. It is absolutely gorgeous. Every time I come here, I am like astounded, and I just keep looking around. So thank you for all the hard work and getting the money and everything else, the design. Also, I want to express gratitude for the nature we have out here. Last week, I was swimming in the sand, and it's still so beautiful and gratitude for all of you who keep this place going, and for Mark, who is a very dynamic character and has a great sense of humor and smart. So thank you.
I would like to express real concern for Patty and Brian McManus. They have been struggling since early May to help him to heal. It's been a very, very difficult journey. She had hoped to be here today, but unfortunately, Brian was not well enough for her to leave him. So for both of them, may we give them strength in our support and love of them. Let us remember there are always joys and sorrows that go unspoken for many reasons, but we are not alone as we hold one another in our hearts. strives to be a prayer that waters dry souls, mends broken hearts, refuses to be terrorized, and seeks the world's beauty and carries us through its storms. Each September, when the summer thunderstorms slow down and autumn has not yet fully arrived, a magical wind comes to my small neighborhood on Willow Avenue. It's a steady wind, blowing all day, sometimes for 2 or 3 days, swishing through the trees. It makes the leaves speak. So comforting is this wind, you can almost imagine you're somewhere else, that the ocean is at the end of the block. Its breeze flowing across the surf and into the trees, but it's just the changing seasons. My former neighbor, Jack, calls it September kite weather, the early autumn companion of March weather, with leaves still on the trees to applaud another year. These days, if anything, the September wind is stronger, but with fewer big trees and fewer leaf collisions overhead. The sound has a softer quality. New pockets of sound have emerged, deeper tones over the gaps in the tree canopy, and the wind passes like human breath over the tops of empty bottles. So today we have Mark Haubner, the formidable president of the North Fork Environmental Council. We have had the good fortune of having us share his knowledge at previous talks and in films that he has shared with us. We have been working hard to be partners in the journey to somehow change what is happening in our climate. So, with further ado, Mark will give us his talk. Get away, somebody.
I have time.
I know.
Thank you, Susan. The Scott Joplin piece was the antidote to Brahms today. I thought that was very appropriate. I don't know how you couldn't be happy by listening to Joplin. I'd forgotten. I was a musician far back, and ragtime's tough to play, and done well today. Thank you. Thank you for your invitation to speak to everyone today, and for Valerie, Susan, and Patty for their hospitality, and everyone here, as always. My name is Mark Haubner. I'm here both as the president of the North Fork Environmental Council and as the co-chair of the Town of Riverhead's Environmental Advisory Committee, kind of a comparative to Southold's Conservation Advisory Council. I asked at Starbucks how much a large coffee was, and they said $5. I told them who I was, and they said it was $6. NFCC's mission to provide our members, our community, the mission is to provide our members, our community, and our representatives with the tools, the experience, the science, and guidance necessary for them to make informed decisions about our people and our environment. Over the last several years, we have expanded from protection of land and water into the concepts of zero waste, exemplified by Margaret and the Repair Cafe effort that we've been putting on for 4 or 5 years now, and the circular economy in order to further protect our air, water, and soil to the benefit of every creature in our world. Building community with events like today's are the tool by which we accomplish this. And by expanding this group and many others into partnership and collaboration, I heard that in the prayer today, with one another, we can ensure our ability to weather any storm and come back to a place of stability. And this is the true meaning of resilience. So thank you again for giving us your time and attention today. The question we are discussing today is, how is global warming and climate change affecting us? What is at stake? There's a lot here. And what can we do? After over a decade of study, my response is that the term global warming and climate change is a happy, fuzzy kind of term, and in no way paints the picture of our shared conditions of planetary overheating and severe climate disruption. Just a quick poll of the people here today. Please just shout out your first thought, and there's no wrong answer. I just want to hear what you think. What are the causes of our planet's overheating? What is that? Humans, us, yes. What else? Sorry? Okay, all right. So none of these is wrong, and none of these is the sole contributing factor. We live on a planet of interdependencies, and each one of your answers works in combination with the others. This is the definition of a complex adaptive system. We will be offering separate talks, as Susan mentioned, on concepts like these in the near future, and show how they impact us and how we can change the tides coming at us. The following view may be new to you, and I encourage you to give this some thought. I'm going to suggest, based on a lot of discussion and reading and writing, that what we have done on Long Island is to disrupt our basic water cycles by removing hundreds of square miles of vegetation and replacing it with bricks and asphalt and concrete. All of these engineered structures draw heat and hold on to it, many times not allowing a building or its people to cool off at night. The simple solution, of course, is just to walk over to the wall and put your Nest thermostat down to 65 degrees, voila, problem solved. But what of those thousands of people in our community who do not have this option? Out of necessity and perhaps guilt, we have created what we call cooling centers in our senior centers and churches, while the majority of us just pump out more heat through our air conditioning units and put a greater demand on the power plants without much regard. And so we have either too much rain on our land, or it's too dry, and we swing the pendulum from wet to dry on what is already a Goldilocks planet of not too hot and not too cold, but this is changing. In both Spain and North Carolina last year, hundreds of people were washed away by flash flooding, during which a year's worth of rain fell in just a few hours. On the flip side of this, 5 countries, mostly in Africa, but also regions in the Middle East and China, are now at risk of a permanent drought. And when people cannot water their animals or graze their subsistence cows or sheep, they simply move. Climate migration is one of the outcomes of the great drying and is one of the greatest contributors to overcrowding in cities, thinking Bangladesh and India, and to armed conflict between countries. The heat waves of Europe in 2023 killed almost 50,000 people, and planet Earth and her laws of physics have no regard for your age, your color, your religion. It is only with money that we can avoid food insecurity and water rationing, so if there's no money, there's no life. But there are a few things that money cannot buy, one of which, of course, is our health. With warming temperatures making Long Island more like South Jersey, we are seeing the migration of the southern pine beetle and the die-off of our pine barrens, the infestation of spotted lanternfly. Have you seen them yet around here? Yeah? No? Okay, yeah, they're coming. Ron Conk, my daughter, told me about 2 months ago, and I went to Stony Brook about 2 weeks ago. There were hundreds of them all over us while we were standing waiting for a meeting. So yeah, they're coming. Which will devastate our apples, peaches, and grapes, and 12 months a year of mosquitoes and ticks, which have brought us Lyme, long Lyme, much like long COVID, and some really special diseases like alpha-gal and chikungunya and yellow fever, West Nile, dengue, and about another 20 we don't have yet. That was fun. That's the Brahms half of my talk. Now we're going into the Joplin half. This is the pick-me-up off the floor, please, part of the talk, and point me in the direction of solutions, please, Mr. Haubner. I'm grateful that we have a whole palette full of remedies for not the diseases, but the heat and the drought and the deluge and the causes of these. We have to look at the root causes. The values of the Unitarian Universalist make us aware of the lack of equity and justice in the world and form the basis of consideration that all people have intrinsic value. I think that's missing from the dialogue in our country and the world right now. We need to bring that back up and out all the time. Don't be embarrassed. I would also suggest that we extend that to all of the creatures, large and small, upon whom we depend without even knowing it. Recent articles and studies are pointing to the trillions of bacteria and microscopic animals which make our soil one of the greatest treasures and which deserve a whole lot more respect from us. And I speak to the farming community, I speak to the residential community, commercial zoning and code, and all the rest of it. We don't treat our soils very well at all because we don't understand what's in them. There are billions and billions of creatures in just a tablespoon and a handful of soil here, if it's healthy. Might I also suggest that we lean forward into the concepts of pluralism, where we invite many more, not just people, but kinds of people to the table, especially at the level of municipal governance. And not just invite, but insist on invitations for people from as many walks as possible, every age group, every point of view. This is what is called biodiversity in the natural world, without which we can live, but we cannot thrive. In the world of democracy, this is called councilmatic representation. We have options for this. We have alternatives. One of the principles I've created in my own work is that we ask early, ask often, and ask everyone so that there's a foundation of inclusion at the start of each program, that everyone's opinions are solicited, and that the information we get from people about whether the program is working or not is gathered early in the process and fed back into the program for quicker response and eventual shared success. From this comes the biogeophysical principle of interdependence, the condition of not one without the other in the world. This is not the traditional historical American virtue of rugged independence, where I don't need another soul so that I might simply survive or live at the minimums of life. It is much more the sharing of both need and abundance that makes us who we are. We do not become less for needing a hand every once in a while, and we look for ways to reciprocate, to pay back our benefactor for their generosity, not as a transactional one-for-one, but as a something-for-nothing relationship builder. And generosity, giving, and reciprocity only grow exponentially by their offering. For example, you will not lose knowledge when you give it freely. You can only expand and multiply it through its sharing. It will take many, many instances of these kinds of actions to overcome the winner-takes-all, win-or-lose, zero-sum economic system in which we are so immersed. And it starts with us. Finally, I find that audiences and politicians love this word. Finally, the condition of adaptation is created with the value of transformation. Adaptation, a condition, is credited with the value of transformation. But I maintain that adaptation is many times simply getting used to something, like putting houses on stilts on the shoreline. I maintain that it is many times just getting used to an undesired condition. We adapt to poor political practices, we adapt to rising prices in the grocery store, and in either instance we are not active in changing or correcting these unsatisfactory conditions. So in the larger sense, we look to transformation, which I see is not the time period of a transition to another more desirable state, but as the interchange which we must all experience for the shift to a different desirable paradigm, which produces much more desirable outcomes than the ones we have today. Note that we are asking a harder question here. Will we choose to create an intentional, sharing, caring, life-affirming society based on low-impact use and qualitative outcomes built on reciprocity, cooperation, and respect? Before or after our Earth Mother imposes it upon us? The transformation must include not just adapting to the loss of water or loss of living spaces for other creatures because of our poor design and building practices, same old, same old. It's the way we've always done it. My grandmother did it this way, but must be driven by our desire to help our Peconic bioregion regenerate into a previously healthy state of well-being for all. This means that we will begin to question our practices of green monoculture lawns, wasteful watering practice, and replace our habits, human habits, us, with ones of planting native plants and flowering perennials. Please come to the Rewild talk on the 22nd. Thank you, yes. They are our partners in all of this kind of work, and I'm very glad for having them and Cornell University and quite a few others. We're partnering now more and more as time goes on for that reason. Please convince our towns to adopt a tree code. It's 2025, people. We don't have a tree code. We've been fighting, the Environmental Advisory Committee in Riverhead's been fighting for one for 8 years. We don't have time to wait. We need a tree code which will preserve and protect the giants of water and temperature regulation. This is what they do. They take up water. The water in a tree takes 2 weeks to get to the top on some of these taller trees. Weeks. And they'll give off 12 gallons a day. So that's where your weather comes from, your microclimate that the wineries love to use. To change our building codes to respect soil and water as the foundations on which we all stand. And to opt for nature-based solutions as the first and foremost in our responses to the changes happening to us and yet to happen for us. All of this so that other creatures might be given their best chance at being their best selves as well. Kulyan Yani Kulyan, the well-being of everyone means the well-being of everyone. Thank you.
Earth, clay from which we are made and to which we will return. Soil, rich and aromatic, crumbling in my fingers, dark under my nails. This cleansing dirt, the natural filter for aquifers, holds life. Once weathered rock and dissolved mineral, now joined with humus, decaying material feeding hungry fungus and bacteria. You are living, made of living organisms, and giving us life. Forgive us for treating you like dirt. Overlooked as we walk over and without a second look, littered with our discarded cartons and plastic bags. Forgive us our seeping toxins from clever industrial innovations. Forgive us and accept these seeds. Seeds promise a future life. May you germinate and live into your full potential. Let your roots feel and follow the earth's gravity down, and let your green shoots break through to the surface and feel the light. Future planet, thank you. Thank you for converting sunlight into chemical energy that allows us to flourish. Thank you literally for the food we eat. Thank you and accept this water. Our closing hymn, number 1064 in the Teal Book, Blue Boat Home. May the firmness of the earth be yours. May the flow of the water be yours. May the freedom of the air be yours. May the fierceness of the fire be yours. May all of the gifts of this life, the below and above, be with you now and remain with you always. In this period of the service, we extinguish our chalice.
Tell me, thou little bird that singest,